I used to be a paper boy, and it was great, you know. Oh no, paper boy, you'll be round for Skinman, villain in disguise.
Voted the #1 podcast to listen to while enjoying tantric yoga. It's the middle of the road Monday morning Papers Takeover podcast with Coach Casey and this week's co-host. It's me, Skinman.
It's like old time, you know. It reminds me of a time we had a friend stop by.
Like old timey?
No, I don't know if it was old timey, but
like
old
xylophones
times.
and didgeridoos.
That was actually what I was going to do for the intro, and I messed it up, and I'm sorry. And thank you for bringing it up. I don't want to. I was gonna bring back our old friend Jack Rounds. Pass the plate around. Give us some of your money. You know, I was gonna bring him back and see if I could get, just bring him back. Last time he was here, he was pimping something, to cure COVID. That was, we've had 2, I think, episodes, maybe 3 since then that me and you have done alone.
Yeah.
So it always brings me back to the last show we did together before you left me, and I always wonder how quick it'll happen this time.
Well, you say I left you, but I was fired.
Well, by fired, if you mean I quit the show because you didn't want to come over anymore, you're right. No, I think COVID kind of happened. We sporadified the other show. And I don't know, that's not a word, but
I think you're projecting.
No, I'm never. It's something I do. Welcome to, I don't even know what we're going to call it, anymore. No, the middle of the road.
It's still the middle of the road.
It's still the middle of the road. We're going to change the logo probably because I think TJ quit. He texted me yesterday. He knew I wasn't going to do the show. I don't know if he did actually, but said, hey man, if you want to do Zoom tonight, I'm in. And I figured out now why. It's because he was out of town still. So I called him I told him we're doing the show tomorrow. He's like, cool, let me know. We're doing it Wednesday. It happens. I had some drama happen early in the day with the boy, and we knew it was going to happen. I've talked about him with his new girlfriend.
Yeah. And
so I thought there was going to be a bigger ordeal from that. Plus, I was just worn out still from the weekend, even though it was Tuesday. And I said, we're doing it Wednesday. And if you're listening to the other show that's back live on Wednesdays, I understand. Download us. You don't have to watch live. I wouldn't watch us live. I'd probably just listen. If you are listening, tell us if you can hear us, if it sounds okay, because we're having kind of I think it's all in my head audio issue. It's all in my head,
Yeah.
And if you're listening and it sounds weird, partially Skinman has a nasally thing going on. Dust and sickness, not a fever.
I don't think I'm down with the sickness, but there's a lot of dirt in a trailer, and then we work on trailers, and we got to sweep them out and then blow all the dirt out. And I was wearing a mask, a dust mask.
When you were trying to prevent COVID, like always, wearing a mask.
No, I was trying to keep the dust out of my sinuses.
And COVID, it's fine.
I didn't do a good job at all.
What mask were you wearing? Were you wearing an N95? Or were you wearing like a rag wrapped around your head?
What I do is I bring my beard up.
Okay. And then a rubber band.
And then I tuck it underneath my glasses.
Okay.
And then that keeps the dust out.
Much like high school, that's how I used a condom. I took my pubes and I wrapped them over. Oh.
You should have used aluminum foil. I didn't
even think about that.
Yeah.
I'd used a lot of weird things before. You went into it going, I should use something, and then you get in there. With a lot of the girls that said yes to me, I was, no, I'm joking.
No,
well, honey, I love you.
Aluminum foil's wrong. Saran wrap.
I know, that was always...
Or plastic wrap.
There was I don't even remember, one of those shows when we were growing up. It was one of the, in living color cast shows, and that's what, the whole... They were going to get some dental dam. They needed some saran wrap, and, I always called it sarin wrap, and now I know it's saran. No,
the eye of saran wrap.
What have you been up to this week, buddy?
Just working. Nothing too exciting.
Since last show, nothing this weekend. No No family reunions. No.
No, but I do got some pecan wood for the smoker.
Okay, that's big news. Breaking news.
Yeah,
No,
because I was almost out.
no runs to Oklahoma to go see
Not yet.
Shannon. No, nothing.
Not yet. I can't wait to go again because it's just magical out there. It's quiet, and I can be as loud as I want to when I break the silence.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. I just walk around with a cup of coffee with booze in it. Do the
At all times.
Dogtown walkabout in the morning.
Okay, I thought you were saying like at all times. That way, you could stay awake.
I can't drink coffee all day long. I'm not an animal, but it's
Well, you're a beast. It's
similar.
similar.
Around 10:30, 11, I'll
Switch
switch to beer
Okay, well, that's civil.
because I try and put Jameson in the coffee for the Dogtown walkabout. It was just walking around on the property with the dogs. For those listeners that haven't heard that yet, it's 80 acres and it's just fantastic. But
I think we're gonna have him as a guest soon. It's been building, or we're gonna go there, and I kind of wanted to talk about that. But right before I do, today's show sponsor, only because, well, we'll get to it, is the 2015 Kansas City Royals. Back when times were good. They reached out to me. Eric Hosmer retired today. If you're a Royals fan, you're local, or you're just a baseball person. He was a stud first baseman for the run that made the Royals good. That one came across, and he retired with another team. He left, once they stopped spending money and the team fell back apart. Obviously, it was time to go.
that makes sense. I thought you were doing the time warp again.
I've wanted to. If I could go back to 2015, oh my God, I would change so many things.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know what I've done since then. I don't know what I've done. Maybe I would have not done the running thing, or I don't know. Whatever made my legs die. It was somewhere around then they started dying.
Yeah.
So
much like the hit song Time Warp.
I don't know what hip song Time Warp. Who sings that?
No, the hit song Time Warp.
Sorry, the hit song. Who sings that?
Yeah, it was on that movie.
Which movie? Electric Boogaloo.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay, all right. I guess I don't know. Can we play it on air? We'll have to look it up and see if we'll get kicked off.
Yeah.
It don't matter. We're not on TikTok.
We can't get kicked off of TikTok.
Because we're not on
TikToks.
We should have went on there. We're only on Facebook. We were going to have TJ on live Zoom, but he kicked out on us. So,
well, he just got home.
It's kind of all It's been. If you're a Royals fan, it all fell apart. So
well, you didn't
it was
call
the end
him.
of it.
You didn't call him and let him know that the show was at 7.
Well, I did. I called him. What time did we call him? At 6?
You called him yesterday.
No, we called him. You were listening to me call him tonight.
Yeah, but that was too soon a notice.
Yeah, because he had 30 minutes. He just got home, and I'm like, do you want to do the show for a little bit? He said no, and I get it. I said last week I knew he was quitting. I knew he took this job just to quit the show. He doesn't even want the job.
No other reason.
No, he doesn't want the job. He don't care about the money. None of it. He's like, dude, I got to find a way to get out.
Well, that makes sense.
All of a sudden, you're going to be laying pipe in, Oklahoma, and you won't be able to come for the show, and that's fine. I get it.
I've never laid any pipe in Oklahoma.
Oh, you haven't partaked in any with your wife down there while you've been down there? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I meant not like that. I meant laying pipe.
You were talking about the oil field stuff.
All right, well, this will be the end of the TJ. I have all of my favorite shows do a like a Make-A-Wish thing. Like Always Sunny did it. I'm watching Shameless, which we'll get to something about that in a minute, but I've been obsessed. That's all I've watched for the last 3 weeks, whatever. But they did one where they did a Make-A-Wish type one, and a couple other shows. I think they did it on Family Guy, South Park. So
that's a lot of shows. You've got to get some sleep, man.
So I haven't watched only 2 of those in the recent multiple weeks. But anyways,
so do you fall asleep at work?
No.
You're watching all these shows. When do you find time to sleep?
Well, I've watched them over the years. I didn't watch all of them since last show. The only show I've watched since last show is Shameless. Again, like I said,
I got confused. I thought you were taking binge watching to a whole different level.
No, I do. I've got so obsessed with it, though. I'll start an episode, and the next one will be like kind of the continuation.
Well, yeah, you got to watch that.
So then all of a sudden it's 12:30, and I'm like, oh shit, alarm goes off at 6. Like I had to go to bed pretty quick, and so then I'll watch one more episode, and then at 1:30 I'll go to or what
1:30.
I've never got into it's been Walking Dead, Always Sunny, because when I got into Always Sunny, it was only 4 or 5 seasons in. When I'd watched some, but when I truly became a fan, they were like 4 seasons in or so. And so I binge watched it. And
I liked Walking Dead until they went. The writers just lost their damn mind because it got to the point where they're making these amateur hour mistakes.
Well, that's why I said somewhere around when Negan became part of the show, which he's actually in this show on Shameless. But it's kind of weird. But that was kind of about when I got off, and I don't know what season that would be.
Yeah.
But it was long before now. There's been a lot of shows that have done that. They've just went too long.
I don't know what season it was. I quit watching Walking Dead, but when they were going out to get supplies and food,
who was still alive?
Ammunition.
I could tell.
And they had this van, and they were just pumping out the dubstep. It was just very, very loud music.
Okay.
And why would you do that?
Where are they out in the country or in the city at this point?
They were in that little fenced-in area, whereas like a small village, really.
Okay, maybe they were trying to bring them in for some reason.
And they had a doctor, and
I don't remember. I don't know what episode you're talking about.
They had a porch dick that was just talking to people as they're walking by his house.
So they were in that that nice community that they moved into?
Yes.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I know that. I made it a little further. They made it to the prison and like the hilltop and some of those places by the time I had got out. So I made it a little further than you.
Right.
And I admit, there was times it got hard, but you stayed on because Carl was still alive and a couple of them was there, and then it would just...
They killed Carl?
Yeah.
After they took his eye?
Yeah. And then they killed... what's his name? The Asian guy, Glenn, after he'd already died once.
I'm glad I quit watching it when I did.
I know. What's his name went away? The main guy, Rick. But he's supposed to be. I don't know if he has already. He was supposedly coming back, or they were doing a spin-off series. So,
if he comes back as a zombie, I'll start watching.
We got way off topic, but it's fine because
it doesn't sound like anything we'd do.
No, it actually is probably way better than talking about.
Okay, Royals. Back on Royals.
Nope, we're done. We've been past it. We're getting TJ to WrestleMania.
Okay.
And we're going to do a Make-A-Wish thing, and we'd kind of talked about it last week, how he's got a heart issue.
I've got
and he doesn't want us to talk about it, but he's not here, so we can. And I wouldn't have if he was here, or if he would have even joined us for Zoom or called me. But
I've got 54 cents right here.
Okay, we're
cash money to go ahead and start the Make-A-Wish to send him to WrestleMania.
Well, but again,
Is he suiting up and wrestling?
No, I think just to get him there to watch, or, maybe get him in the ring. And that's the reason why if we just pay, that won't do it. But I think if I could he's got like heart cancer or, I don't want to do that. But he's dying. So we're all dying. So we wouldn't be lying to him.
So does he have a heart murmur, or what is the actual deal?
No, I don't want to say what it really is. It was just more of a joke. I don't really want to truly say it is. It's a little bit more than what... I don't know what he thought it was even last show. I don't remember what he called it. But
what venereal disease is it? You can tell me. Nobody else.
No, but it was all because last week we talked about statins, and so I texted him something about I finally figured out what a statin is, or is one of your medicines a statin? Because was just laying there at night with one of my stupid thoughts and searched. First I searched what is a Satan because I can't spell statin, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And then I spelled what is a satin, and that still was, and then I got statin in there.
Was your safe search off, or was it on moderate?
My safe search is always on YouPorn, so I mean, it's always a weird topic. But anyways, I found out what a statin was, and it was more for cholesterol, but which is heart affected.
So the bad cholesterol.
Yeah, statins are when you have high cholesterol, or low. I don't know. It just depends.
Okay.
If it's too low, they give you a reverse statin to bring it up.
So they just give you a little
And if
little
it's
grease.
Yeah, and if it's too high, they give you a statin to bring it down. They got statins and reverse statins. It's medical stuff.
Yeah.
I've been searching no.
I like how
But
you
it's-
went Charlie Day with that. That was beautiful.
In bird news, what do you know about bird law? Yeah. So my thought was just for us to try to do something between the show to say, it's kind of like the pre-diabetes thing we used to do. We're all dying of pre-diabetes. We're all pre-diabetic. We're all dying of something eventually. And so we don't have to be we won't be dishonest with this. If there's somebody that we could reach out to that could make a wish for, let's say mentally, he is definitely qualified for the Make-A-Wish thing. But if he could get him in ring with Roman Reigns or get to walk behind Heyman, get to carry the belt, that would, that'd make that'd be the end. He would be fine if the end of this was then we get to kill him, Well,
Do you know how nervous he would be?
Oh, God.
Oh,
He'd love it, though, dude. I bet he'd go to the gym 4 or 5 days and he'd work more on a shred than a bulk.
yeah, that's Jim spelled with a J.
No, he goes to the one with the G.
Yeah, because Jim goes to the same gym.
Jim and Jim at the gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim Jam.
I don't know. I think he would soak it up, but who wouldn't be? Especially like at something like it would be like me getting to go to a Super Bowl, or that'd probably be my biggest event that I think that I'd want to go. What would be your biggest event? If you had your Make-A-Wish, where would it be?
A family reunion where everyone was there.
Oh, damn it! Do something not like that.
Because there's always somebody that's like,
do an
I
event.
can't. I gotta work. And
Say a band or a concert or an event. Come on, help me out here.
let's see.
Are you into like axe throwing championships? One of those freaking the lumberjack competitions. You could go like freaking be a judge in one of those.
I'd like to be
One of the
contestants in a barbecue competition in Dallas.
See, there you go. That'd be an awesome one. Or like one of the top 10 judges.
That's the high bar there.
Dallas is the. Would barbecue's better in Dallas at competitions
Well, I say
than
Dallas.
in Kansas City?
One of my cousins lived down there,
Okay,
so I'd have a place to stay for free because I'm cheap.
all right. Again, I don't think you're understanding the point of the Make-A-Wish. They're going to put you up in a nice hotel wherever you go.
No,
everything
it's
is
gonna be tough to find parking.
It's going to be free. You're going to have a ride. They will pick you up and take you there, bud. You're dying of pre-diabetes, bro.
Well, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't be able to do the smoking competition, the barbecue competition, because
Why?
if I have a ride, I'm gonna be drinking.
Okay, that's
And-
completely
and let's-
fine.
let's be
That's
honest.
part of this. That's part of your Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
That's okay. My other secondary Make-A-Wish was the Mustang right now.
Okay. Well, change gears a little bit. What about a moonshine tasting festival?
All right. What about you get your own spot on the Moonshiners show for a season? That's your Make-A-Wish.
Oh, to help them build a still and make
Yeah,
sure that it works right.
Make
there's
mash
no
and
leaks
stuff.
And,
Yeah. And you're the tester guy and the judge for that. This season is the skinned edition, where everybody makes it and they have to send, give you a pint of it or whatever, a mason jar or a jug or whatever your value is.
You're mispronouncing barrel.
Okay, a barrel of it. Well, they always put it in the mason jar, so wouldn't you want like
Well, they can make small barrels.
what do you call a crate, one of the milk crates or they're big ones. I'm going to call it a sleeve of,
That's a case.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
A case of,
Yeah, you can fit 4 handles in a case.
I'm talking about like you got 12 freaking moonshine things, you see them carrying the big,
Oh, the jars.
mason
Yeah.
jars with moonshiny in it, man.
Okay. That'd still be a case.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
I think they're 12 to a case because
I didn't know if they
they're,
use different lingo and fucking, moonshine.
they're,
I don't know
quart
moonshine.
jars.
You brought it up. I figured you're the expert on moonshining.
Yeah, quart jars is what that's the norm, the go-to.
I watched that show like off and on. I'll binge watch it back, like where you'll watch like for like 2 or 3 days, you'll turn it on.
Yeah.
But then you just can't no more. It's just like so.
Yeah, when the shows turn into a second job, it's like I don't even enjoy watching this anymore.
Well, I don't even mean that. I think like where they go and how fake it starts to become. They'll drive right by a cop and, they got a tarp flapping in the, they're watching and you got 40 barrels of mash in there. And yeah, just randomly at 3 a.m, no cops. Or then they pull them over after they've, it's just always something. It seems scripted.
Yeah.
That's why I like shows that are scripted, because at least I know they are scripted.
Most of them are.
You got one ready?
Oh, a story.
We got to sprinkle them in, or we're going to try to do 3 of them all at the end.
Yeah.
News.
Naked Dude Fest to end. Japan's Naked Man Festival ends after more than 1,000 years.
That is crazy. They you think even the year, I shouldn't even bring it up because I know it's a sore subject, but the year that it happened, America did the thing, you think they still had the freaking festival?
Well, that was the year of the Naked Man.
That was 1,000 years. That's a tradition.
It's been documented on papyrus.
You saying a lot of words tonight. I don't know. I don't know if you were looking up words.
It's that old-timey paper.
Okay. All right.
And they use a feather.
Okay.
A quill, if
there
you
we
will.
go.
An annual event commonly known as the Naked Man Festival came to an end after nearly 1,000 years due to the declining population in the area. The festival, commonly known as the Naked Man Festival, involves hundreds of loincloth-clad men gathering at a Japanese temple. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. To wrestle for ownership of a bag of talismans blessed by the temple's chief priest.
So they're still doing this? I mean, they up to this year.
Yeah.
How do you still find them? I know, I guess they're honoring it, but.
Well, it's a talisman or a religious icon.
God, you're so smart when it comes to this stuff.
I do a lot of documentaries.
Well, see, that's you're to documentaries what I am to binge watching other dumb shows.
It's all.
It's not sports I care about season, so I get into shows like this when it.
It's just the university of YouTube. It depends on what you want to look up.
And dude, that would be a whole podcast we could do. Is Skinman's fucking YouTube searches, not you porn searches, but your YouTube searches.
It's a variety. There's a lot of car crashes. I don't think
you search out car crashes, or
they just pop up
because of the shit you're watching is such a car crash.
It's a little bit, yeah. A lot of bad drivers out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of yes. Is there more?
This decision is due to the aging of individuals involved in the festival had a shortage of successors. Probably running around half naked all the time. They can't have kids anymore. That's just my thoughts.
How would you like to be the last guy that
I win?
Or no, it's like this is my first year to go. Or if you're every person that it's their first year to go, and then they end the event that year, You're like, oh, was it my fault? Was mine too small, or was it too big? Was somebody offended? Should I have stopped stabbing people with it? Things like that. You just wonder what made it. I know it was the decline in population. How many people? It doesn't say how many people attended it, or did you say it and I didn't hear?
I don't see a number.
I should look these up before and have the questions I want to ask. I should have the answers to.
But this year's winner was 49. And he's a member of the festival's Preservation Association.
Well, he did a shitty fucking job because it's the last year they're doing it. I mean, he should be fired. It's his fault. The guy that won, he wanted to be the last one to win, and he's on the board that gets to keep it alive. It'd be like somebody wins the presidency and they say, "Oh, by the way, we're not having. I'll be the last president," or what, say you just laying your claim on something is what it seems like.
Yeah.
By cheating.
Well, it's like the boss winning every gunny sack race at the company picnic.
People let him win.
Well, either that or get fired.
Well, but if it's the last year, why do you care if you get fired?
Because you got to have lunch money.
But you're running in a naked race. I mean, I think
I don't know
that's
why
a bad.
You have such a damn little appreciation for lunch.
I don't like. I do. I've been eating really bad lately. You want to talk about the diet now?
You work through lunch, don't you?
Most of the time. Yeah.
I knew it.
I have a runner. My warehouse guy about every day he leaves. He goes, "What do you want for lunch?"
Yeah, food runner.
Yeah. That's what it is like. He'll leave and like my boss or one of the people who work for me will be like, "What's your Uber Eats getting for you today?" Or because we got on a sandwich and little kick. He got into the Popeye sandwiches and we had coupons, so we were using them up and getting tenders and Sammys and it's 2 days a week. Today he brought me Chick-fil-A. I couldn't leave. I was
changing it up a little.
It was a busy day. I love their little nuggies.
Yeah.
So I got me 30 pack of nuggies for lunch.
Right.
I only had 10. I gave 10 to somebody else, and I share.
Yeah, so, you would have hated. I take my lunch.
Why would I hate it?
Because it was 4 beer rocks.
Oh well, do they have chicken beer rocks?
No.
That
is an abomination.
Why?
It's an insult to the beer rock.
It has to be hamburger or beef or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly they use. And I've had beer rocks, long ago. And then my wife got these veggie beer rocks, and they were like the veggie beef or whatever. I know. Don't make the face.
You're mispronouncing cardboard.
They were decent. You're right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, tofu's great when you put something with it.
Well, I think like the dough and the bread and the cheese and the spices were there.
Just do bread and cheese.
Okay.
It's
I said back, this was before I'm talking past days, I didn't say she made them for dinner tonight. I had quesadillas.
Nice.
I had black bean ones just for TJ. I was hoping he'd be on because he hates black beans.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
I have a thing for it. I was going to find it, but it's not worth it.
Right.
Black beans taste like dirt.
But yeah, they didn't say how many contestants there were for the Naked Man Wrestling. But
this week's person, I worked a event Saturday, and I thought it was going to be with E. That's always the exciting thing about doing the events is I get to hang out with my friend.
Your bestie.
Hey,
sure.
I don't know if I want to say bestie.
You can have more than one bestie. It's okay.
That's true. He's my good friend, and we always have fun. He always what is that?
Nothing.
Oh, too loud.
It was my cans.
Oh, he always gets mad at me when I don't do something right, so he scolds me a lot, and so it's always fun to work with him.
That's why I've never been invited.
Why?
Well, that and I look homeless.
Well, I did too when I first started. They were all weirded out this time because I showed up with the shaved beard, and they're like, "Who are you, man?"
Yeah.
And that was always the worry about him asking me to do it. But they got so desperate this year that they're like, "Well, we'll even let him." He combs his hair.
Yeah.
So he tries. But this was a weird event. It was like a big fundraiser, and I had to at the beginning of it. I was just like dropping things in drinks and filling up drink trays. But this guy walks up to me, and this week's person, first thing he said to me is, "That's cinnamon or cocoa?" I said, "That's cocoa." And he goes, "I was hoping it was cinnamon. I haven't had none today, and I've been trying to have some every day." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Well, I've recently read that it's really good for you, so I'm on day 13 of having cinnamon every day, and I'll be honest, I feel freaking good." And I said, "Man, I have cinnamon every single day too, and I have for a year, and it has changed my life." And he goes, "Are you serious? I've read stories of people saying that after a year, it's like their joints felt better, their life felt better." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've had a piece of either had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or I've had a piece of cinnamon toast every day for the last year at some point in the day, and it, like I said, it's changed my life. And
This is interesting. I'm gonna have to do cinnamon sundaes.
okay,
I'll just ease into it. I can't do
But
anything every day.
I thought something that stupid would have ended this conversation, because that's what I wanted more than anything, was to not talk about cinnamon anymore. And instead, I invited the cinnamon talk of my life.
He set the hook on you.
Dude, he sat there for 25 minutes. He leaned up against the wall. We were in this little cubby, and I'm still trying to do my job.
Yeah.
People are walking over, and I'm taking drink trays out, and people are coming up and asking me, they, this and that. And he's just like, man, do they have any cinnamon drinks here? And this guy's nice suit, loaded. And finally, his wife comes over, and she's standing there, and he's like, oh, I forgot to order drinks. We're talking about cinnamon. We're talking about cinnamon, honey. And she's like, honey, stop. And I'm like, and then he kind of wanders off. It's technically probably 5 minutes, 8 minutes of cinnamon talk, but it felt like 25. And
25 days of cinnamon talk.
so at certain points throughout the night, the bar would get overwhelmed, or somebody would go to do something, and I would hand out a couple of drinks, and the wife came over, and she goes, I'm so sorry. Literally before we came here, he talked to, I don't remember where they were, he loves to talk about cinnamon. I'm just like, he needs I didn't say it, but I'm like, he seems excited about it, and that's cool.
He needs a lobotomy.
Well, or just a hobby, or
Oh, hobby. I mispronounced hobby.
a lobotomy. No, he just needs a friend.
Yeah.
But when I'm in work mode, I'm not looking to be a friend. So
Yeah.
but,
Next week we'll have to do some cinnamon cider.
from Dixon Cider.
No,
Okay,
it's different. This is actually like cider, like the drink.
I'll challenge you to bring me something cinnamon to every show you want to bring me something cinnamon to.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever found anything cinnamon that I did not like.
Okay.
So I could have had a great conversation about cinnamon. I could have listed, my wife's grandma does a cinnamon bundt cake that is freaking out of this world.
Teriyaki pork cinnamon bears.
Okay. I would lick that, no, I don't. I do some cinnamon.
You're gonna be licking the pork? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
I'd lick that pork. We need to, if I go back to eating like brisket and that, well, we're gonna do a freaking barbecue show called "I'd Lick That Pork," or "Lick That Pork," or something like that, Yeah. And at the end of it, when the winner, you'd be like, "I'd lick that pork,"
or like brisket.
What?
Oh, brisket.
Yeah, that'll be yours. You'll say, "Oh, brisket," and I'll say, "I'd lick that pork," Or I'll hire like a famous gay person for every time. Like it'll go to me for my ending, and it'll obviously not be me, and it'll be like, I like that pork.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, rather than doing show prep on the show, what else happened other than the cinnamon dude? Your cinnamon. We'll call him your cinnamon bear.
I may have. So I felt like I was getting in trouble this event than and it come to find out I was wrong. There was a couple things I struggled with, and sometimes I found out recently that I stored my mojo and my confidence in my beard, and I shaved it off. So I still got some, I'm just short on it. And so I found out that a lot of how I carried myself in the recent years, the cockiness and all of that, was in my beard. And so I showed up to this thing like scared, nervous. So I brought a vodka drink and had it right when I got there, just to take the edge off.
Yeah,
and then,
Samson did the same thing after Delilah cut his hair.
And they had a vodka martini as one of the house drinks, and you go over there and they want you to taste them so you could tell people something about them. And, of course, I didn't realize you were supposed to take a drink. So
I want to taste this one again.
So I did, I slammed that one, and I slammed that one, and the lady's like, normally they just take a sip of them. And I'm like, oh, I like to really be able to tell them how it tastes,
Hooker, you're the one that filled it up.
Yeah, it was the lady that worked for the event, not anybody that worked for us.
I call her Hooker because I don't know her actual name.
Oh, I care less. She may very well be a hooker, Whatever somebody does for a little bit of side cash, I'm never going to judge.
Sounds a little out of my price range.
Other than that, it was they had a house band, played some good music. It was packed.
Little cat scratch fever.
Yes, like that kind of stuff. A lot of people dropping glass. This one I hadn't had, and people just come find me. Hey man, look at the glass.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm out on the dance floor and I'm because I had the 2 freaking martinis. I'm out there, sweeping up glass and shaking it a little bit, and
Hands on your knees.
yeah, I mean, got the broom in my mouth and just freaking, I'm grinding on that fucking broom out there while I'm sweeping, and people are just like, will you fucking clean up the broom? Like, I think I'm cool, and then on the outside, or the outside looking in, or however you want to say it, everybody's like, douchebag, get out of our way. Nobody wants to see you dance with a broom.
So did you clean up the glass, or did you make your own spill on the broom?
No, I just swept it. Like,
okay.
I always spread it out. You don't want to leave too much in one area. No,
that's
yeah. It's funny because every time I go to clean it up,
trip hazard.
Every time I go to clean it up, I feel like I got it all, but then I look at it and I'm like, man, I know how much glass comes out of like one of these cocktail or one of these glasses.
Yeah.
And this is like an eighth of it, but I feel confident. Everybody's already clearing back into the area, so I'm like, I know there's like 2 or 3 big chunks with facing straight up, sitting somewhere.
Yeah, those are stuck in shoes.
But I've done well. I felt like I've got most of it, that I could see in the.
If they drop a drink on the dance floor, it's a self-cleaning mess.
But I was all over. I was doing food service. This was kind of like Casey. I think that's kind of why Eric, like I said, Eric wasn't there, but why his brother likes to have me there, because my phone died. I was afraid that was going to happen, so I don't know what we're going to. Here, do a story real quick so I can at least plug my phone in. News. Well, I've been playing this video game and it drains my battery. And I kind of thought about it the other day. I'm like, I shouldn't play this video game and so much because it drains my battery. And then, sure enough, battery drained. So,
finally, a protest I want to go to.
Oh man.
Thong-wearing protesters bare their bums in opposition to calls for G-string ban.
This is one of those things you show up to like freaking excited, one side or the other. Like if you're anti G-string, you show up and you're like, dude, this is going to be freaking awesome. If you're, dang it, now my phone's doing an update. So we're done with the phone.
Yeah. You just show up in a Borat onesie.
But, if you're against it, you're freaking like, at least I'm going to get to see some freaking G-strings. And if you're for it, you're like, dude, I'm going to go here. Like, I shouldn't be in one, but I'm going to root for them and get to see. And then you show up and it's me, you, Chip, Shannon, Eric. I wish he'd look all right.
Well, yeah, I'll wear the G-string, but you won't be able to see it.
Bertha, that's what I'm saying. There'll be 47 people, and 3 of the G-strings you'll be able to see. The rest of them, they'll think are nude.
The demonstration, named Free the Peach, began at Kurrawa Beach at 6 a.m. local time on Friday, which is Australia.
They do some weird shit over there.
Yeah. Because they live on a continent where, if you're in the ocean, there's things that try and kill you, and then it's like, well, I'm safer on land, and then they got spiders and snakes. And
47-foot freaking snakes are just common in fucking, no.
Yeah.
People say I want to go there. I'm like, don't come back. You won't.
Yeah, look up the...
Less than 5% of people that go to freaking Australia on vacation come back. It's a fact. Look it up.
Look up funnel web spiders, and you will burn your passport.
I know. Their freaking trees are just covered with them, and then their webs, and then you see the freaking spider, and it's...
Their fangs are either they're 3/4 of an inch to an inch long.
Man, I dated a girl you'd call a funnel web spider, because when she get her fangs into you, good luck getting them out.
Yeah. You're lucky you're still alive, really.
All right.
Dozens of locals wore their skimpiest swimwear as they fought for their right to wear what they want to on the beach. They were rallying against remarks made by Ian Grace, a former Gold Coast Volunteer of the Year award winner.
Hey, fat ass, take the thong off.
Who said women and girls
Nobody wants to see your fat ass in a thong.
Women and girls who wore G-strings were cheapening themselves.
Oh, He also said that.
Just noticing he didn't say anything about the dudes. I guess he's okay with the dudes wearing thongs.
That's what I'm saying. Is this
'Cause
I know on the picture they just showed a nice bum. I mean, that's what attracted me to the story. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't foresee it being all women. You know, they're there. He's bitching about it, and like I said, there's 3 chicks and 47 dudes that came to see the chicks in the thongs.
Yeah. Mr. Grace had wrote, one young lady in particular was walking on the footpath on the main road and had the tiniest triangle in front and was close to naked as anyone can be.
Well, what does that mean? Like just panties?
You could
explain
see
better.
she was looking almost defiantly at people as they approached, almost daring them to say something. There's something very wrong here.
Like, is there a picture?
No.
I'm sorry.
You look it up later.
Okay. I will be.
You'd need a different search engine for that, though.
I'll use mine.
There you are. Why any man would enjoy the view, I believe women are very much demeaning and cheapening themselves, portraying themselves as sex objects, and then decrying it. Is that a word?
I be crying
When the men see them that way.
Okay.
But I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I just think, you know, your body is a temple. But you should show that temple off.
I don't know why this prude's got a problem.
I don't either. I don't get it. I think is he one of those? He probably.
Oh, I blame his mother.
Or he's one of those dudes that like was on vacation with his wife and got a chub or whatever. Like they were at one of those thong beaches or the, you know, partial nudity ones, and he got in trouble for it. And it's like, I didn't even like her. You know, it's just my body. And then he started a whole cause against it. But really, he wants it. He's not good at it. He's purposely trying to sabotage the cause. But he knows if somebody is leading this cause, that nobody else will take it up. And his whole actual goal is to fail. But he's trying to prove to his wife, who was mad at him because of a stupid wife, or a stupid fight, that he was against it. That's how crazy women drive us.
Now, I'm not one to start rumors. However, it might be, I'm not saying that it is, but it might be his grandma was a stripper.
Ooh.
And he walked in at the wrong time when she was practicing for her show that evening. And it scarred him for life.
And maybe she did like a beach theme show or something, so he took up the thong, beaches at the thong cause, or
I think his grandmother was dancing at a place called T-Back's Cabaret.
Ooh, doesn't sound clean.
So I think
T-bags or T-backs?
T-Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a dude or is that a?
And that's another name for a thong.
God dang it! You've taught me so many things. I've never.
You've never heard about the T-Back?
I mean, it makes sense. As soon as you say it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just the only tea I know of is tea bags or Earl Grey or green
iced tea,
green ice.
Yeah.
But no, not tea bags.
Greenbacks.
What? Oh,
I was talking about the rapper iced tea.
Okay, he's one of my favorite. He did that running movie.
Yeah,
where
Law and Order.
Oh no. Survival. He's too white in that for me, man. Oh.
Yeah.
Like he bleached his skin. He was always light skinned, but man, maybe he has something wrong with him. Maybe if you're an iced tea fan and he has like a skin thing, I'm sorry I brought it up.
Well, I think we would have found that out by now if that were true.
I know Eric Andre did it like to purposely for one season. He like tried to look as white as he can, and he like went like I watched his whole inside the episode of him trying to become whiter, and it was freaking awesome. All the stuff he was trying to do. That the end of the story?
Yeah, it's.
What's the scariest freaking animal that out of its element? You know, like if you're in Colorado, you expect a bear. Or if you're somewhere, they say
mountain lion.
Or yeah, if you're in the ocean, you expect a shark. If you're in
or a cone snail.
Okay, I don't know what a cone snail is.
Cone snails are on the beaches of Australia, which is why I don't want to go. And they have, when you step on them, they don't like it. So they defend themselves by shooting a poisonous harpoon in the bottom of your foot.
What the fuck, man? That's just not nice.
No.
You shouldn't step on them, though, it's not nice to step on stuff.
It has as much toxins as like 4 times the poison toxicity of a king cobra.
And you learned this on YouTube?
No, it's one of the documentaries called the
What Can Kill Me Today?
77 Deadly Dozens. That's what it was.
I figured it was one of those What Could Kill Me Todays. Well,
yeah.
Or, if you're in Louisiana, you expect a freaking alligator. Not in New York. I guess you've heard rumors of, and I think there is a movie or something about alligators in the sewers of New York, and alligators in sewers myth is true. Workers find out in jaw-dropping video. The monster was captured in a video footage that recalls the big city myth that inspired the 1980s movie Alligator and was further popularized by Drew Barrymore and Steven Spielberg's 1982 sci-fi classic E.T. I don't know, but so they have footage of
Is that 2 different stories you brought up?
No, that's the end of the story, by the way. That's the only ones I like to read. My next one's longer, but I'm just saying, you are walking along the streets of fucking New York and an alligator comes around the fucking corner. You're gonna panic way fucking more there. You're gonna think all of a sudden you are getting ready to get one of those movie scenes where they're gonna come out of everywhere, compared to where if you're in Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, or Alabama, or somewhere along a swampy place, and you see a freaking gator.
Now, in New York, Louisiana, most places,
most swamps,
you're going to have a higher percentage of being killed by a local than an animal.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is, it would freak you the fuck out. Or here, we walk out here, and you see a fucking black bear walking through my yard.
We're fine.
You're going to freak the... Okay, you see a brown bear.
Still fine.
Standing outside our door.
If there was a drunk local on a lawnmower...
You'd be more scared?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, there's a fucking mountain lion. I don't know. There are mountain lions around. I don't know. I'm just saying
we're close to the river. Yeah.
I'm saying you're somewhere you don't expect to see something. A cheetah or something just comes out of nowhere when you're not expecting it. If you're in the forest or in the jungle, you expect jungle things.
See, now you see cheetah, and that's just another local.
Old Sammy Cheetah, or
a cheater,
cheetah. Well, I know, but I'm talking about like a leopard, a freaking
the animal.
A panther. A panther freaks me out more than anything, and it's not because it's black. I know what you're thinking.
Well, I was gonna say I'm more likely to be killed by a black panther.
I would. That's what I was gonna say, but you're
not
saying
the animal.
I know. I'm just saying. I know. I guess animals don't scare you. An animal
they're tasty.
Animals out of place scare me. Like a lion in general. Anywhere, in Africa on a safari, a lion coming at me for some reason, or I get trapped in. I go to one of those Naked and Afraid shows, and they put me in the freaking the safari.
Yeah.
And there's lions around and shit. I'm gonna be scared. But if I'm in, I don't know, North Dakota, and I walk out of, or I go up to Wyoming to go visit my buddy Stevie V.
Yeah.
And then there's a freaking, a lion fucking comes out and he starts freaking out. I'm like, oh fuck, lions aren't common around here, are they?
Well, you'd enjoy the hawk or the northern chicken, they call it up there.
Okay. Eat some hawk?
It's my understanding. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not scared of a hawk. I don't know if there's anything flying besides a bat that scares me. And that's only because I don't want to be Batman. Well, it's too much freaking to take on.
They say
And
that
it's part of
bats
the-
taste like chicken. So
and it's part of the reason
you'd
I'm
be
s-
in good company.
It's part of the reason I'm scared of spiders. It's not because they scare me. It's I don't want to be Spider-Man. You know how much I barely wanted to get married and have kids and take care of them. You imagine being a superhero, the responsibility that's wrapped up in that. So my fear of spiders is completely legitimate. Actually, what's Chance, our buddy that was on here. That would have been one better for him. I guess he's freaked out about spiders, and he should start telling people. He's like, I just couldn't handle turning into Spider-Man. It's just way too much responsibility.
So you're afraid of Spider-Man?
No, just spiders.
Oh,
Well,
because you were saying superheroes earlier, and then
I'm just saying if a spider bit you and it's well known that if a spider bites you, you have a chance of turning into Spider-Man.
okay.
I mean, I think almost everybody knows that.
Did you get a spider bite on both legs or just one?
Both? And
Okay.
so but I did it purposely because I thought that it would make them stronger,
Yeah.
and it did not. It made them weaker.
Right.
So then I'm like, you know what? I wasn't doing it right. I got to do it on the feet, and then that's like where all your toxins release and enter, and then find out just killed my feet too.
No, it's back of the neck. That's where you want to get the spider bite because then it gets into the lymph nodes.
Well, speaking of, I don't know. He might talk into the mic here for a second. I had him removed a while
It
ago.
looks like an eye that's closed.
I had him removed a while back, and this thing
It's back.
3 weeks ago, a month ago, it was not very big. It was a little lump on there.
It looks like a tumor.
Yeah, and it is freaking shot up, man. And I had it removed once. There's a scar there.
Right.
But it is shot up and got massive. My wife's kind of like, you need to go get that removed or go get it looked at. And I'm like, I mean, I will. But have you ever seen one of those movies where like the thing, like the alien or whatever comes out of like your shoulder or
That
whatever?
was Army of Darkness.
Yeah, what if like I got a buddy that's getting ready to come out and maybe he's my good one though. He's not a bad one. He's going to help me get better and learn more and become a better reader and so.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't want to skip this and we can go for 4 hours if we want, but nobody's will listen after the first 15 minutes anyways. But we have a new segment and I'll re-edit the show and we'll start with it. But this week, the new segment's called Not Too Serious with Skin Man.
I see.
Because you, before the show, said you were trying to think of something that wasn't too serious. And I would be fine if you came up with something serious. But every week I want you to come up with something that's not too serious to talk about.
Okay.
And
We going to save it for next week then?
well, if you want to, we've got a little time. And it's the story you did, literally what you talked about at the beginning was at the store.
Yeah.
Your cart thing.
Yeah. Yeah, people are pushing carts and there's no cart traffic. But if everybody stays to the right, everybody'd be out of everybody's way. But it's a shopping cart, so they just push it around all willy-nilly douchebag. And I think a lot of people, that's how they drive, too.
You
Like
think
on the sidewalks, ditches, and on the wrong side of the road.
you think a lot like me because that's the kind of things I think about throughout the day. It's even walking on a sidewalk or walking in Lowe's or
Yeah.
anywhere. If you stay to the right, if when somebody comes up you in an aisle, you try to push your cart over to the right, unless you happen to be up against whatever that is that you're trying to, like if you're one of those people that takes the whole shelf of something.
And then the lunatic that you're trying to get around, what do? You go to the right, so they go to their left.
Go back the other way, and then I just stop and I put my cart in the middle and I walk the other way.
Right.
And I let them decide what they want to do with my cart to get around it.
Yeah.
Or I'll do the over drama thing where I'll like, take my cart and put it like slide it all the way over against the thing and like, go on, go ahead. Sorry, am I in your store? No.
Do you have enough room now?
Every time my wife invites me to the store, as soon as we go to the store, she changes her mind.
Yeah.
She's like, there was no reason to call that old guy an asshole. I'm just like, well, Skinman told me I can't call him a bitch.
Yeah, because bitch is way too used.
Asshole is gender neutral.
It is.
Everybody has one. They all stink.
Everybody uses the word bitch, and it's really taken the sting off of it. It's not an insult.
Well,
anymore.
yeah, no, but it's kind of like, man, that fucks. Like fuck used to be more like powerful, and now It's kind of just a word,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake. Or, you know what I mean? It's not powerful. There's few words, like especially cuss words, that have power anymore.
You could be as filthy
Asshole,
as you
I
want.
agree with you. There's no way to be like, dude, you're an asshole.
You can be more filthy by not using swear words.
Mm-hmm. I'm really disappointed in you, dude.
It was like, no, your mother should have swallowed you.
Oh man,
Tell that to an old dude.
we don't have
He'll
enough.
get it.
We don't have enough time to get onto my
He'll
stance.
understand it.
My stance on late term abortions. So, but I don't mean it like I mean like somebody's like 43. They've screwed up just repeatedly. They whatever. You're just like, all right. Instead of the death penalty, you've qualified for abortion.
Yeah, it's time for you to check out.
Yeah, no, we're not going to kill you. No, we're going to abort you. It sounds horrible when they're a baby in the womb, but when they're an adult, it sounds more humane.
When they're old enough to know better, I think they just should be poisoned slowly, and then they'll just finally drift off to sleep, and then they won't wake up. It's a little something I like to call the sweet nap.
Yeah, but then that still sounds like killing. And
No, it's the sweet nap.
All right.
You just lay down for that.
That is kind
sweet
of how
nap.
I want to go. Even if my wife, if you're listening, you are poisoning me and you're doing that, I'm fine with it. Like, do it. Like, if you can set up something like right before bed where you come up and, you bring me my drink and I don't even say nothing about it. You've never brought me a drink, but that's fine. And then I go to
rat
bed.
poison it to fix their legs first.
Yeah, but I think you'd wake up and then you're sick for a while and you're puking and vomiting and
See, that's too much.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want something that you just like whatever they did to Michael Jackson. That's kind of how I'd like to go.
Oh, a horrible father.
Was Michael Jackson a horrible father?
No, his father was a dick.
Well, yeah, I've heard that, and Tito wasn't so great either, but that was because of his dad. Well, we can't blame our parents for
any person that calls their son names and makes fun of them, and then tells them, you're not going to be able to do this because you're no good.
Well, but see, some would say that's motivation. Some would say that's just negative reinforcement, and there was a time and place for it.
That really sheds a lot of light on the Pee Wee football games
That I coached, and my coaching style in general.
How's that going?
Does that justify the things Michael Jackson is accused of or possibly did? No. I hope that's not what you're saying. If you are, that's fine. That's your opinion. I don't like steak, and you are fine with Michael Jackson. I mean, we have our own opinions. No, I'm just.
I think you're making it up.
Am I projecting again?
That was you, not me.
Couple minutes. The things we didn't get to. George Santos is great. He did. So have you heard the cameo thing? We've talked about it on the show. It's all the people. You can hire a celebrity to basically wish you happy birthday, or like your mom can hire. We listed all the people that do it.
How much money does that cost?
Anywhere between $30 and $350 or $400 for like a 15 to 35 minute to a tops a minute video.
That'd be awesome for Vincent Price to wish me a happy birthday.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got on there one show and looked up all the people that are on there, like Cheech, Ponch, or whatever his name from Chips. Not Cheech, but he's on there too. But Cheech and Chong do it, and there's just all these, and basically all they got to do is say, hey, Sammy, wishing you a happy birthday. Glad I heard you're a big fan of mine. Check me out sometime. But George Santos got on Cameo because he's got a lot of legal bills, and apparently Jimmy Kimmel had sent him all these requests to do, and they were all like dumb ones, like wishing him. It was all these getting him, basically making him sound stupid, but he was reading whatever they would say. Well, he played them all on his show, and then he figured out he was doing it, so he's suing them for making him look like an idiot.
Defamation of character.
But it's not really defamation of character if you read or do what you're...
Public buffoonery.
Yeah, I mean, and he was already a public buffoon, so that made me smile and laugh, because I don't care if you're left, right, middle, green, whatever, anybody that did all the fake shit he did. It's also awesome. I don't like him, and I'm a huge fan at the same time. Does that make sense? Like, he
Yes.
literally said everything that we think fake politicians do all the time and stole money. He did all these things. He was traveling and stuff on donors' money and all this and still won because we're in such a shitty horror. I mean, he faked that he was in the military and just all this shit. And so,
yeah, it's one of those things that, we love it and we hate it at the same time.
So, Trump just got busted. I got busted. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. It's fake news. It's false. They're lying. In New York for basically overinflating his wealth and for getting like all these tax cuts and inflated loans and better. Anyways, well, Jason Aldean and Kid Rock canceled their shows in New York, and it was the You Can't Cancel America show, which one was hilarious that they canceled You Can't Cancel America show, but also after research was done, there was never a show. They do have some tour dates together, but none of them are in New York. That's not what the name of the show is. And Jason Aldean still has like 16 shows scheduled in New York over like in small places and like maybe it's 8, but this whole little thing of them, and they didn't get canceled, but both him and Kid Rock like shared, this tweet or X or whatever you call them now of that they're canceling their show, but they're still doing the shows there because the people of New York that are fans of you ultimately did not choose to do what happened in New York. So, I mean, I get punishing a state or...
So rather than playing at stadiums, are they playing at the Fox Theater?
A lot of, yes. That was even what the story dug bigger into because it's like, because of how polarizing both One America is and people choose to be, some of their venues, they still play some, like if Kid Rock comes to Wichita, he's selling that fucker out because it's redneck as, in certain places. Yeah. Same with Jason Aldean. I think he's still pretty big, but
he should play at the Crown Uptown.
I think
which is comparable to a theater venue.
That's what I said.
It was the old timey.
I think that's what a lot of the shows. I mean, he's still. I mean, I'm not even really trying to talk shit. It was just the fact that you falsify your stance on. Not even falsify your stance, but you want. Money wins, so you can take a stance and do all that, but when you can make money, you're going to cancel fake tour before you cancel your real one. It makes your fans that come to the shows, that are a big fan root for you more. And so, what else did we not? We talked about Shameless. I have not literally watched any single thing, news, anything. I get some of that on my phone, but Shameless, and then for the 20 minutes or so before I fall asleep, I play South Park every night. It's on Comedy Central. I know I've seen every South Park at some point probably, so I'm not too interested in it. If I watch something else, I'm interested. So I watch Shameless if I'm watching TV, or and it's not like I don't watch TV from the time I get home until I go to bed. It's from usually the time my wife goes to bed or a little bit after until. Like we talked about earlier, 11:30. I'm like, man, I got to watch this one last episode. It's over at 12:30. Maybe if I fall asleep, it's not that big of a deal. I'll lay here, and then 12:30 that episode ends, and I'm like, I'll just start the next one, and then 1:30 I try to go to bed.
Now, my suggestion is to listen to scary stories.
I don't.
Scary stories about the wood, maybe by a river.
I don't like that stuff. I don't like scary movies.
Yeah, but if it gives you nightmares, it'll help you deal with society.
No, I have those already, and I mean
try and give yourself nightmares.
Well, I don't have to.
You'll be a better person.
I don't have to try to give myself nightmares. I have them. My life's one.
Make them worse. Eat a lot of cheese before you go to bed.
I do all that. I drink too much. I've got all kinds of
don't drink. Just eat a bunch of cheese before you go to bed.
Talked about an alien growing out of my neck. We talked, diet. The diet competition. I finally started it this week. I got up.
Now that it's over?
No, we got until next show. And then I had nuggies today for lunch. After this weekend, I had literally gained, I was just under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And when we started, I was 193. I'd got down to 185 at one point, 186. And then I don't know what happened, man. I just got
After I weighed in at 193, that was a surprise to me, and I haven't even checked.
I hadn't for a while, but TJ keeps updating me, so I do. And then, but I knew I had had a really bad weekend, so Sunday night I weighed myself, and I said, "Oh, fuck!" So I'm back. I've lost a couple pounds now.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm gonna be ready for the weigh-in next week. I think I moved the treadmill inside. I'm gonna take this week real serious. You guys, if you haven't tried, try, because TJ, you're still on this, even if you don't listen to the fucking show.
Easy.
Even if you're not part of the fucking show anymore, or even if you fucking quit, you're part of this. You're buying us dinner. If I lose, I'm buying you dinner. And if you lose, you're buying us dinner. If you're listening, I should say that again. TJ loses, he's buying Coach and Skinman dinner. Coach loses, he's buying Skinman and TJ dinner of their choice anywhere they want. And that's, if you know.
So loser chooses where to go to eat?
Nah, winners get to choose.
I'm out.
No, it's too late. But mine's going to be easy. There's 3 choices I'm going to pick. And
Chicken, and chicken.
yeah, but it's Popeyes, Wendy's, and chicken.
All right.
But we'll have to go early to chicken because where it's at, I don't know if we should go too late. But the chicken is great. And that's
So like 8:30, 9 o'clock?
that's about when no, not much later than that.
9:30, 10 o'clock? Or when does their lobby close?
There's not one. It's a drive-through only or a walk-up window. It's the
We got to do the walk-up window.
The restaurant is smaller than this room.
Uh-huh.
It was an old like coffee shop, or I don't know what it is, but it's called Chicken. It's $3.50 for a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's $6.99 for the meal.
That's a walk-up window situation there. Is there a picnic table where
No.
we just eat outside?
Eat outside. We'll go sit we'll bring a truck and we'll go sit on my tailgate, bud.
Nice.
We'll tailgate, eat that.
Yeah.
Not at 9 o'clock. I'll do it at 2.
No?
Nope.
Nope. Has to be 9 o'clock.
No. There's literally a liquor store attached.
Ooh!
There's a Save-A-Lot across the street and a church.
I hope they have Keystone Light.
Nope.
I bet they do.
They have a 40s only liquor store.
That's the name of the store.
40s only. No, it's fine. I just don't think we're welcome.
Hey, let me get a 40 of Keystone Light.
Now, when we went there, I took TJ there after we did Christmas lights, and I'd been driving by, and I'm like, dude, you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to be good. And so we went there, and we did see the whitest, like, it was like, have you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes.
So, you know, like Kip with, LaQuanda or whatever her name is, LaFonda.
Yeah, LaFonda.
That's what it was. It was like this nerdy, like little tiny white dude with this big O, like sister than sister.
I'm really hoping he was dressed up like a cage fighter.
No, he had a freaking silk buttoned up all the way, but no collar. You remember the shirts that they made that didn't have a collar?
Yeah.
But they buttoned up all the way.
Right.
He had one of those, and you remember like the freaking Dockers, but they had the little wings on the sides of them.
The camp counselor pants?
Yeah, they look kind of like a jockey pants.
The cargo pants?
Yeah, but they're no cargos. They just for some no apparent reason, they had a bulge that came out like this on them. Everybody, I don't know, but anyways.
Oh, like the
AC, did you watch Saved by the Bell ever?
No.
All right. Well, if you've watched Saved by the Bell, I'm referencing AC Slater pants, and anybody that's watched the show,
Those MC Hammer pants.
kind of, but not quite as parachutey. But AC Slaters were always like a sweat material or whatever. But every once in a while, when he wore the real nice, for whatever reason, he found like sleeveless cutoff, nice
Dress shirt.
But then he had like the Dockers that had the poofs on them, or I don't know. If you're listening, you're probably pissed off because you know what they're called, but they're like pleated, and so. Well, we're over time. Our sponsor did not pay for any extra time. They will not allow any more.
Boo.
That's a diet update. Mojo stored in the beard. Where I'm going to live by. The only thing we didn't get to was a a dude. What if you wake up and you check your lottery numbers and you won $340 million? First thing you do is
lose the ticket.
No, you call everybody. I quit my fucking job. First of all, first fucking call is Dunzo. Actually not me. I love my job. So if you're listening, but a lot of people, they'd quit their job, may even leave their spouse or their girlfriend if they're not married. They, a lot of things before they go claim the money. All family members delete their numbers, kill them off Facebook. That way, in case they find out you won it, they have no way to contact you. The ones that haven't reached out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you go to claim it, and they're like, dude, we made an error. You did, I know your ticket says you got the same Powerball numbers that won the $340 million, but actually they printed the 3 as an 8. They were out of ink on the printer. Just where the 8 would close in.
Yeah.
And you didn't win. And actually, same thing. This printer had a weird error where it didn't close in the 4. It was supposed to be a 9.
Okay.
So you were 2 numbers off. I know you even thought, you know what, you didn't win $340 million. You're okay with 12. I get it. That was if you don't get the Powerball. It's 12. That's a pretty decent day.
And that's how you get God.
But unfortunately, so that put a new term called fucking going Powerball, because I would go Powerball on their fucking asses because you just lost your job. Yeah, you're a dumbass. You shouldn't have quit. You should have
collected. Well, now you say lost, but
well, if you truly loved your job,
if you're going to be doing that, you're kind of a loser anyway.
What? Quitting?
No, to be an ass like that.
Well, I mean, what if you didn't even do it? You did it more tactfully. Like you went in and you went in that morning and you gathered your stuff and your boss said hello and you're like, damn it, I can't take it no more. The way you treat me, I can't take it. I quit. I'm sorry, I quit.
All I said was good morning.
Yeah, that's the way you say it, and I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me. I just can't do it no more. I'm out.
I'm sick of your tone.
I offer you 2 weeks. I offer you my 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. But for now, I gotta go collect my freaking lottery check, dog.
That's a little something I call the 2 weeks takesies backsies.
I would go buy before I went and collected my thing, I would go buy a Porsche, and then I would drive to work in it because I've always wanted a Porsche 911. I'd probably buy like an 80s one. It'd still be like $12,000, but I'd go buy that and I'd pull up to work, convertible, red one, the Boxer 911. Pull up there and just, walk in and be like, man, this is awesome. I respect you guys. I'll let you find a little time to find somebody, but I'm sorry, I just won $340 million. I don't think I'm not going to be able to come to work very long.
Yeah.
I got things to do, countries to buy, or, islands to buy.
I would do something crazy like buy a AMC Eagle.
Oh, there we go. I thought you were going to buy one of the flying car, the DeLorean.
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
No, I don't have a pilot's license.
Okay.
And I'd have to stop at 88 miles an hour.
Well, you told me you can't travel back in time. You can only travel forward, and you can't get back. I think.
Right.
I think you told me that.
And then how can it be all like ha 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 if I'm not here? So that'd kill that.
You leave a video that if I made it that far, you'd go up like 2 years, but fuck you,
Yeah, it'd be just a normal green, but boat flake paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
How bad did fucking Jeffrey Epstein ruin the idea of wanting to buy an island? If you tell people now you want to buy an island, they automatically go, you want to do one of the Epstein things, don't you?
Well, it's worse than that because the first thing, they don't look at you in your eyes and talk to you. The first thing you look is your shoes, and they just judge you completely and say, yeah. I knew you were going one of those island guys.
Yeah, it used to be awesome. Like, you'd tell people, like, if I ever got rich, I'm going to buy a fucking private island, and I'm going to fucking fly all my friends out back and forth for the weekend.
I still want an island.
And we're going to fucking... I know, but you can't...
Go ahead, judge me.
But you can't... You just almost can't tell people that. And, fuck you, Jeffrey Epstein.
But I'd have to name the island, though.
If I...
And I would call it Zakistan Island.
I don't know if that would go over much better. If I could say one thing that you should learn on this episode,
Welcome to Zakistan Island.
I would go to Kazakhstan with you.
No, Zakistan.
Oh.
No, that's an actual place.
I know.
Like,
Well, I know that's where you're. What if like people accidentally went to book a flight to Zakistan and ended up in Kazakhstan? You know,
well,
where would Zakistan be?
Pacific Ocean.
Like in just the middle of the ocean, or would you have an island?
It'd be. I'd build my own island.
What
I'd
are those-
anchor it down.
One of those man-made ones. I had fun.
Boobies aren't things that give you milk.
If you
Boobies
did,
are
I'm
things
sorry.
that
We'll
kill
get our
you. You get
mojo
in my
back.
face with that, I'll beat
It'll
your
get
goddamn
better.
ass, you son of a bitch.
It might
I'm here
not.
to
I
piece of
don't
shit.
care.
What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?